Good morning, guys, and welcome to Market Check. There is no second best YouTube daily stream. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. Huge thank you and shout out to the guys again, not only for covering for me while I was on vacation, but also crushing markets in the process. I'm joined by Tucker and Dr. Will's Outlook. I know we're going to be able to get Max and hopefully Jackus in here later as well. But I'm happy to be back. I'm ready to get back into the swing of things with you guys, both the listeners as well as the team. And I think it comes at a good time, right? Comes at a critical level for stock indices with the S&P sitting at what many would deem as support. Bonds showing weakness, volatility remaining elevated for a myriad of reasons, but one would expect this type of setup to yield volatility in equity markets into the end of the year, right? Whether that is a melt up for a Christmas rally or for a failure of that said support, right? I feel like that's a pretty textbook inflation point across the board on all assets once again. But of course, more importantly for all the viewers, an even cleaner level for us to potentially take a trade around, if you choose. And I know that's something that I'm sure we'll talk about later on this show. We all have our biases on equities. Crypto as well on its way to a huge monthly close here with strong momentum on a higher time frame. I think that picture looks a lot more favorable for speculation right now. Once again, I'm going to shout out my team again because, you guys have been calling out some absolutely incredible altcoin plays while I was gone. I was able to catch one or two streams. It was a little bit difficult over in, the time zone that I was in, but I could see the work that these guys were putting in on Discord as well as on YouTube, streaming for you guys every day. So I know you guys were well prepared. Some great plays there on chain as well as exchange tokens. So they pretty much had all your bases covered. But I want to get y'all's thoughts on the market here. In particularly, we can start with whatever you guys want, right? Because crypto has a little bit more momentum. I don't know what we've been starting the show off with, probably in my absence. Has it been more crypto, more legacy? I assume more crypto since that market's had a significantly more volatility here over the last month. What do you guys say? What do you think is the more intriguing setup here? Do you think it's equities at potentially support, or do you think it's crypto looking for continuation or looking to continue shaping the look of this uptrend?
Well, I've been telling these guys, we've been going back and forth. The heated debate, the heated market that we've been debating is equities, really. But we've been pretty aligned on crypto, but equities, I've been telling them it's over, man. I've been telling them it's over. Here we go. There we go. It's ogre. There it is. But yeah, I don't know. We've just been putting in a series of lower highs and lower lows. I wouldn't be shocked if we came up and put in a lower high, but that's been the trend.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know the alpha. All right, it's not ogre until it's Shrek. Okay?
It's ogre.
And it's not Shrek.
It's ogre, Will. It's Shrek.
I like that analogy.
Completely Shrek.
Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, you could say, consolidation, support, whatnot, but it's just hard for me to get bullish on this until, you start seeing some boom, 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 some of that action, right? So I don't know. I'm currently probably looking to hammer something like that.
I actually like that zone right there, Tucker. I think if you can get back above that, you could probably bid that. But if you come below that and reject, yeah, you could definitely look for a short potentially.
Yeah,
I think that's a key pivot area you could pay attention to for sure.
Yeah, it's one of these. It's just this little what are we 42.20-ish, something like that. I think you at least come get there. Hopefully, right? The train has kind of left the station, though. So
the best part is Tucker always draws these out. They play, and then he never gets in on them.
That's true. At least with equities, man. I've been really, what I've been wanting was IWM, which has not been cooperating at all. Because I had it, man. I had it from up here, and I closed it in here, and then I kept looking for a bounce, and it just straight up bled. So yeah, I would like to get a bounce to hammer. Give me like 167 again, right? But
I would say just look for a new setup. No point in chasing at this point.
no, man, look at this. There's a point
Don't
in
chase
chasing,
it, bro.
bro.
I'm telling you, man. Don't
Look
chase.
at this. Oh my goodness. If you lose this, if you lose 160, it's completely over. Completely.
That's an ugly looking chart.
It's a terrible.
You got lots of chop in there, bro. You're gonna get 8 alive moving through that whole liquidity zone.
COVID lows.
It ain't gonna move like that. It's gonna chop to that entire range.
It's like shorting, or it's like looking to short an altcoin instead of, you know, something more liquid, right? It's gonna chop you up and scam you out of the position before it actually moves.
Yeah, you got to either hold it from higher or just say screw it, move on.
No, because if you get in there now, you just, I mean, that's fine. If it, you know, I'll just hold her down to there. We'll see. We'll see. But it has been nice hitting the crypto longs for sure. We hit one on Sol over the weekend from about mid 31s.
What do you guys think if Bitcoin closes up here on the monthly?
Closes the monthly. I was gonna say the monthly.
Yeah.
I want to see exactly where we close before I answer that question. But if it closes at this price, that would be a pretty bullish close. For sure.
Yeah. Don't want to. I mean, Nick said it in our Discord. He said, don't want to fade the monthly breakout necessarily, but it's gone on a little too long to Bart, honestly. Like, I mean, I guess it could, you know, this.
I think you could easily trade like sideways. I don't at all put that past it, right? I do not put sideways out. Like, I think sideways is the more likely play here, but I think if you close up here, man, like I don't see the reason to go back below 32.
That's good. Zodiac killer with the comments.
Let me see.
It's a good question. It's a great question.
It's a funny comment.
It's true though. It's true, man. It's gonna be tough. I mean, okay, what did
I think the argument is the flight to safety one, right? It's that Bitcoin trades as a commodity.
Well,
that's essentially the argument, right?
Yeah.
I do have a thesis for this. I do have a thesis for what he's asking. No memes intended. But this was a very similar move when equities were running and Bitcoin was basically just bleeding and looking like crap, and the rest of crypto was, right? And then all of a sudden equities U-turn, and now Bitcoin and crypto is running, and everything looks like crap in equities. So it all depends on how you think the market's basically, you know, twapping each side of the move here. But I would say if I'm looking at it like that, and I think Bitcoin's bullish, I think equities are close to a bounce potentially, right? We'll see money flow move back and forth between the two. Either that, or you know, we could say it's ogre, but you know, I want to see some Shrek before I see some ogre.
This is Shrek, man. This is Shrek.
I love that. We're gonna have to find that, man. I want to see some Shrek before I say it's ogre.
Just playing on Max's beam. Playing on it's Max's coin. I just want everybody to know that. All right, I just add a little bit to it. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I think Shrek has already come, and I think ogre has already come, and I think like we're just basically kind of chilling here. We're at the mid range, right? I'd say that's like your 50% pullback. It's just, you know, don't fade it at the moment. Just pay attention to it and let it do what it does. If it's gonna break, it'll break. You'll see it'll be pretty clean, I think. And if it's gonna bounce, it'll bounce. It's not at the point for me where it's like, oh, I need to enter here. You know, just when we were at 25K, the reason I bid is because it was a second retest. I didn't bid the first test of 25K. I let it test, go up, bounce, reject, come back down, hit 25K again. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, this is holding. I'm like, I need to bid here. That made sense to me. Right here, if you're bidding this now, you're catching a falling knife. You need to see a retest or something like that if you're going to say this is going to be the hold position. So that's just my thoughts.
I completely agree with you, Will. I think that this is a level from a volume standpoint you would expect a reaction, but until you see some structural breaks or some shifts bullishly, I think you're better off playing momentum as a bull than trying to catch a knife, because I think the penalty for if this is not support would be potentially a steep one.
Oh man, this is all the bulls on Twitter right now. Oh my god, green.
What did you even type in to find that Wojak, Tucker?
Let's
what?
Good.
No, just look at the MAs, bro. Come on.
What did you type in to find that Wojak, Tucker?
I literally just typed in I typed in soy jack meme. That's what I typed.
Oh my god, this guy.
Soy jack, and there's so
let's go
many.
to we had some bison too. You missed out.
Yeah, we did.
But let's go to Bitcoin real quick. I just want to kind of show the audience kind of what I'm talking about for that double bounce. It's not a low time frame bounce. You can see basically we came down and hit the 25K, went up, hit 30K, and came back to 25K again, right? And it was over a long period of time. HTF time frame wasn't a 4 hour, 1 hour, or any bullshit that people tend to be like, oh, it bounced on the 4 hours, so this is where we shove. It was
HTF. You don't like the 3 minute, Will?
No.
Come on, Will.
You don't like the 3 minute?
show them the second bounce, so they're kind of seeing where that was at. If you could,
what?
Just the second bounce at 25K.
Right here.
Yes. Now you can see right there that was a high time frame move. That's why the bid came in there, and that's why I think structurally it made sense to bid there. You had HTF.
Hey,
that
guys.
is not where we're at on SPY yet. We're not there.
What's up?
New week, new opportunities. How are you guys doing?
Hey,
good,
man.
Are we live? Are we live?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Sorry to jump in then.
No, welcome, man.
Oh dear.
What are your thoughts on SPY, Jackus? We're currently discussing that between that and Bitcoin.
The correlation between a SPY and BTC?
No, we're just wondering what your thoughts are where SPY is right at the moment.
I have to check. Give me a few minutes. You guys can keep discussing in the meantime.
You're good. But yeah, so basically all I was saying is that I sold at the second bounce of 25K here because we were bouncing the same support, right? So I waited. I let the market consolidate. It did take a very long time to get there on the higher time frames, and that's what a lot of people just aren't able to do. I think in these markets, they're not able to sit and wait for these moves to actually play out. They want to play the initial bounce, and then they take the long and they round trip it back, and then they close it at the low, and then it rounds back up again, and they miss the entire move, rather than waiting for the double tap or anything else before they can get confirmation. So like that move for Bitcoin it was a beautiful move. It was a beautiful move, played off the low there perfectly. Whereas SPY right now, if we go back to SPY again real quick, we're only on our first bounce at the moment, right? So ideally, if this thing goes deeper, it goes deeper, but we need to see some kind of double tap at support here, which means we'll roll up and then roll back again. I think that spot where Tucker showed that resistance on that last high there, Tucker, that last low, sorry. If you could point that out. Yep, right in there. I think if you come up, tap that, come back down and retest that 4150 and hold, I think at that point you could probably shove, but you need a hold, right? If you break through that and use it as support and flip resistance support, I think you can shove at that point. There's a lot of different ways you could shove here, but you need some kind of confirmation. We're just not there yet. With SPY specifically, in my opinion. I need to see some kind of confirmation. And if we break lower, what we'll probably see is we'll see a retest of that, and then we'll break down significantly below the lower low here, and we'll end up breaking structure to the downside. And at that point, I would think 3,800, 4K is in the cards. I would start with 4K, obviously, and hope that holds. And if 4K doesn't hold, then you're looking at probably 3,800. These are significant levels too, by the way, guys, just so people are aware. You can go back to the previous price action. Those are areas where price love to play. 3,800, 3,600, 4K. And then, I think you break 3,600, you probably go straight through to 3,200. So we'll see how that plays out. But right at the moment, I think we're at the 50. I think we're going to hold here personally. I think there's just a lot of structural support there. If you go on the high time frame, go on the monthly real quick, shoot a support all the way across. I think you're right at that liquidity where you need to be. And I think as long as you can hold there, you got a good chance of bouncing here.
Yeah, we are at the 50. I will say that 4150 is that 50% retrace. We did hang out here for a while. This action. Yeah, but I don't know. Just give me this. Just give me that. I'll hit it. But no, wait, real quick, Bitcoin. The only, not the only, but a bear case would be like every time open interest hits this level, man, it's a top. Every time we had a spike like that, it's a top. Now, we haven't really gotten it. Like, we're not up here, but it did spike a little bit, and the candles look similar. So just something to keep an eye on, I think, because look at all these. These are all tops. Right there. So you got one. Oh, shoot. No, I didn't move this one over.
Tucker, you know what I know for certain has not topped? The number of likes on this video. Y'all make sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. We appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate you guys being here on my first day back.
Yes. Everyone is excited to have our man Tommy back. They're saying it in the comments, man. They missed you. Yeah, here we go. All right.
Hey, Jack, so I had a thought that if we close here on the monthly, we probably won't see anything below 33, 32. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
I can go on. So where do I start? SPY or BTC?
Wait, Will, we had a prominent guest one time say that Bitcoin was never going below 27K ever again.
I forgot about that.
I had a lot of people tell me Bitcoin was never going below 30 back when it was going to, and I told them they're fucking nuts, and it happened. Now, I'm saying the opposite, right? And that's just because we've recaptured price. But we can start with SPY if you want, Jackus.
I don't really care with what we start, so just let me know.
Yeah, let's start with SPY.
Wherever the demand is.
Wait, there we go.
I think people are more interested in what's going on with equities right at the moment, even though.
Can you guys see his chart? I can't see his chart.
I don't see his chart. Oh, there it is. There it is. It just popped up.
Is it? Oh, okay. I'm not sure that more. I suppose it depends on the audience, right? And I would say that more people in our audience are more interested in crypto, but it's just my subjective feeling. But yeah, let's start with equities. So, okay, first of all, I gotta say that SPX did dip lower than I expected overall. Not with NASDAQ, it's only with SPX. And I did expect that we're gonna sort of rather bottom around this area, but around here or maybe slightly lower, like something like this. These weeks, I did not expect we're gonna go this deep, but nonetheless, this doesn't change my idea that I think we still go higher at all. I think this is a very deep shakeout, and we're gonna see rather maybe we go slightly deeper here, sure, but I think we're gonna bounce back very strong. And I think that until we lose this low, until we do, this is still a bullish structure. I was reminding this for Ether, for BTC, and for all others. So I will do that once again so that people see that. This is how I think. It's been working for me, and I will keep on doing so. So here, this is the bigger structure, right? So we had this bear market in 2022. And right now we had this impulsive higher, and right now we are retesting this prior range or prior volume area or blocks, whatever you want to use. We are retesting that right here. So it did dip lower than I expected, but it still doesn't invalidate my idea. And I was ready for, I mean, like many times the price can keep on behaving this way where they take it slightly deeper, but then the overall structure remains. On some, so for example, with BTC, right, they didn't even go below 25K. The bid was very strong there. Whereas with Ether, it went deeper. And I think the similar situation is happening between SPX and NASDAQ. So the structure here is pretty clean. You know, this was the bear market. These are the legs you want to be seeing. This was the bear market. Then within this leg, you surely got, you know, some structure. You could call it bullish structure, but it wasn't fully confirmed until we got this leg. And this entire leg higher, this is why I say my bullish case isn't invalidated until we lose this low. So this leg higher breaks the structure. This is the impulsive leg higher all the way from March. So anything inside of here is on lower time frames. Sure, there is the bearish structure, but it's inside of this bigger leg. I should use different colors. Sorry for that, but I just want you guys to see the structure here. And until we lose that, anything in here is shorter time frame or lower time frame bearish structure, but inside of a higher time frame bullish structure. And if I go back, so anything, one sec, delete these. So anything inside of this block is a bullish retest to me. Until we lose this low, I expect continuation. I do expect the same for the Nasdaq. Okay, that's good. I do expect the same for the Nasdaq. If you guys remember when, you know, everyone was calling for new lows all the way on this move, and I was saying this is a good time for us to finally peak and make a correction. Here, everyone jumps on the bullish train, and I was saying I expect a correction. It happens. I do not know how long, but I still do expect that continuation. Now, everyone that was jumping on the bullish continuation up here is now calling for new bear market, and I just don't see it yet. I don't see it in many of the tools or metrics that we look for, like the jobless claims. I don't see it. You know, we didn't even get close to rate cuts or anything like that. I think there is I still think there is a lot of time for that, and I think we're gonna see more upside first. But then I do expect, you know, the downside. I do expect something like where we go to new highs, and then I do expect that break. I do not know, you know, this is just a squiggly, you know, estimate. I'm trying to say I do think, and I do not know if we go exactly to new all-time high. If we go slightly higher, maybe we slightly front run it. I just don't see that roll over to new lows just yet. I do see it later next year. You know, that nothing's changed from that perspective, unless once again we lose this low. So those are pretty clear conditions. Again, I think Nasdaq is way more cleaner right now, or stays stronger, of course. But the situation is very similar here. You know, this was the impulsive leg higher, and now you're getting that correction. But this is a correction to buy, not to sell. You can be temporary seller, and I was mentioning it. Trying to find this one. So if you guys remember, I was calling here that we probably get the upside. We did. Then I was saying, hey, this is a good time for a sell, and then either we get the continuation right from here, where we, you know, bounce. We take some of these equal lows, and then bounce from here. Or if we lose that level, which we have, we probably go lower and take these two equal lows. We have did that just now and are already bouncing. And I still cannot say whether we maybe sweep that one more time, maybe we fill this gap, possible. This is not, this is something that can change a lot, depends on lots of factors, but overall I just don't see reason to be bearish just yet. And I think too many people are overreacting as usual. So
I don't think this is a spot where you short into the hole. But I also don't think this is a place where you blindly catch knives. It's kind of a tricky place to be trading, or I would say not trading, but transacting, right? You're kind of in, I mean, yes, it's support, but it's almost like no man's land in the sense that there is not really strength yet to the upside. But if we get it, you're fine playing momentum, chasing that momentum. But until then, you're probably catching a bleed. And then the flip side of that is, yes, we could break down, but the price, if you're wrong for it not breaking down, I mean, it's going to rip, right? I mean, given where the VIX is at, probably a prolonged bleed on volatility. S&P, NASDAQ probably do trade significantly higher in that scenario.
Yeah, I agree, Tommy, that we are sort of in a no man's land. Like there's no, I mean, on SPX there is a strong support where we are right at. On the NASDAQ there is no clear big support. There is only this liquidity level, but think of it now, right? Like this is a place where no bulls really wants to enter, as we lost all these supports. This is probably where people turn bearish and start to short each retest, which is exactly where we usually continue higher, because whenever sort of retail turns bearish and starts to short retests is when we start blasting through them on the lower time frames. But until then, I cannot say that we don't get another drop lower slightly, and once again, fill this inefficiency on the 3D or maybe even weekly. Who knows?
Yeah, the reason I wanted to start on equities there too, Jack, is just because a lot of people are trying to correlate and say, well, if equities are bleeding this bad, then crypto and Bitcoin are going to have to come back and they're going to have to retrace a lot. And it's like crypto and Bitcoin have been lagging equities the whole time. So, I mean, if anything, they just caught up a little bit, right?
I did see one view that kind of countered that, which was that S&P led crypto actually, and that crypto is now doing what the S&P did over the summer. But I don't know that I quite agree with that. And even if I did, there's no way we need significantly more time with Bitcoin.
Yes, correct. And then on top of that, Tommy, where how far did it lag it? Did it lag? Is it January for crypto?
It was about
May for crypto.
I think it was about May to June. Was his
but you see what I'm saying with that question, right? It's like to make that thesis is almost to say you can identify exactly what month it lines up with and everything else. And I think that's a hard sell for a lot of people. At least if you're looking at this from the perspective of asset to asset, right? But at the same time, like I can see where people could try and come up with that correlation. But I think the best thing to do here is to not overcomplicate things and just continue to follow the chart as it is, right? So if the chart is up for crypto and Bitcoin, then play it as that. If the chart is down for SPY and stocks, then play it as that. But like obviously don't play support as a place to short, right?
Yeah, I think a bearish bias, if you have one, is better reflected in legacy markets than crypto anyway at this point. Especially if you're American, and your access to bearish instruments is futures, right? I don't really know that it's a market that I would eagerly short on futures. Options are a bit different, but if you're for visible weakness, I see more in legacy than you do with crypto, whether either one is leading or lagging, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I've been calling for a long time, and you guys know it, that I've been saying that equities will go into stagflation this decade. So I do not expect a huge upside there. That doesn't mean I'm not like, and now when I say shorter term, that can be like 1 year ahead. So we always need to know what time frame we are talking about, right? Because sometimes shorter term can mean next few hours or something. But in this context, when I say shorter term, I mean like the next year. So I'm shorter term bullish on equities, but then I still expect that recession to hit, and stocks just generally don't do well in a high interest rate um, period or an environment. So
Yeah, they don't grow well. The growth stocks go to no growth stocks.
yeah,
Essentially.
yeah. So I definitely, as Tommy is saying, I wouldn't be overly bullish on equities, like for some insane gains. I'm generally just saying I think there is still more upside to them before the real recession hits. Also, I do not think you get that market turnaround from the structure standpoint here, and also especially when everyone is expecting it and everyone is hedged for it. That's not when you get that market turnaround. You get that
Well,
when people really flip.
yeah, I wanted to add to that too, Jack, because I think a lot of people don't realize this either. Everybody says, "Oh, bearish, 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 bearish," but maybe the bearish trade is just no growth, right? Maybe it's
Yes.
slow growth, and that's what a lot of people are not. They're completely sidelined, thinking that that being sidelined is the way to be 100% sidelined. And the reality is like slow growth doesn't mean no growth, right? It just means slow growth, which means that in a
It
potential
legit
world,
means stagflation.
yeah, it means stagflation. But in a general world, by the time those people that have been sidelined actually make entries, they'll probably be entering at all-time highs, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. That's legit my thesis that I had for a long time, that all these sideline people, this is the place when they will start to become feel comfortable to finally enter. And I don't think the time has come in yet. There was a short period of time when people finally started to get bullish again here. By the way, I've read just a comment from Zodiac, and I think it's completely wrong, because here he wrote, "Not gonna lie, Will and Jack sounds like TradFi in July, calling for stocks all-time high. No disrespect, boys." So it's the other way around. Everyone was calling for zero all the way, on this way up, and this is when I was calling for higher. I even have the charts out there when I was calling for it. I was showing how we are breaking down here. When we broke here, I was saying we're gonna sweep this low. That's where the breakout longs are, and then we're gonna continue higher. And when we went higher, I was calling for the I was calling for the pullback right above here. I was saying we're gonna sweep these and most likely front run the all-time highs and pull back. So it's the other way around. If I was calling for new all-time highs in July, then the only thing that I was saying is that after the pullback, we're gonna continue there, like slow grind up or something. I definitely did not expect we're gonna like keep going up only, but like I cannot find more people that get it better in that regard. So this is still my anticipation that we see the slow grind up until the things like jobless claims and all these things start to show us some signs of the market turning really around. We don't see that just yet, so I don't see the market. I think generally I just think this is shakeout. But once again, I do not expect anything insane, and I was saying that the whole time. I do not expect Nasdaq going to well, I don't know how high, but I'm not expecting some crazy highs. Once again, I still think we need to create that soft landing narrative really properly. We need to get all the sideliners back into the market at the top before there is the rug pull. We need to shake out all the people that are hedged. Those need to close their positions. They probably do that above all-time high. I just don't see that big recession coming in until then, but I do see it, and I
Well,
just don't think the time is here yet.
to add to that too, Jack, and I know a lot of people, they may feel however they feel, but like, I mean, I flipped, I think roughly around February, March, and I can tell you, if you look at price since February and March, I'm still up quite a bit on those moves, even with the current pullback. So the one thing that I think a lot of people don't realize that when they're looking at these charts is every significant crash, every major crash in the markets has occurred or happened from all-time highs. So that means the market went up,
Yeah.
reached a peak, fell down, and then re-reached that peak again before the market fell over again. It has never occurred from a low. All major crashes have occurred from all-time highs. You can go back through SPY and look through history. It's all there. The data's there. I'm not just making stuff up. It's all there. If anybody in the audience wants to go look. And so anticipation is, and this is Jackass's thesis as well as mine, and I've had this thesis also since the beginning of the year, is that we will see all-time high before we see all-time lows again. So, and this is what I think a lot of people just are not willing to accept because they're new to these markets. They don't understand it.
Not all-time lows will be probably mean 2000 like new lows of 2022 getting swept. You said all-time lows.
So what I'm talking about specifically is like the move when we had in 2000, right? And then we had the move all the way back up to all-time highs. And then 2008, we go to lower lows, right? We did the same thing in the 70s. We did the same thing in the 60s. We did this all across the board. So, I mean, and keep in mind, these took 10 years before you saw this play. A lot of people are expecting this to happen tomorrow. We're not even back at all-time highs yet. We're not even back at all-time highs yet. So I don't know what people's expectations are here. This could occur in 2026, maybe. It could occur in 2027, maybe. I think, but if you're looking for that play, if you're looking for that revisit of lows, you're not even close to the time frame for that to even happen, is what I'm stating. Whether it happens or not is irrelevant to me. The point is the time frame and where we are in price don't match up with historical factors.
Yeah, I totally agree, Will. And it legit takes time, and people are too focused on the lower time frames as usual. So once again, I think there is about a year time for more market upside before a larger sell-off in stocks. So I definitely wouldn't be long stocks, and I kept on mentioning it. This is a decade of commodities, and Bitcoin is following commodities, and gold is going higher, silver is going higher.
What happens with SPY in a commodities market, Jackass? Go ahead and show them what happens with SPY in the commodities market.
Yeah. Let's just overlay.
Real quick, Jackass. You know what does go up despite the stock market going up or down is the like button, guys. It is
you guys allow it.
State of up only. Would love to see us reach 30 to 40 likes today. I see that we're already above 20, so make sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying the content today.
Yeah, good point, Tommy.
Always pertinent in any market.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that during any sideways period for equities, and you usually don't know it's the sideways, but I think right now it's getting pretty obvious, is when you get that gold. And if you can see, gold sort of was also sort of like sideways downwards, and then it's really start to pick up. And yes, during the 2008 crash, you also get if you zoom in, it took nearly the same time for gold, but what it has done is that it pulled back to retest prior all-time high, and then it continued higher. And I think that's very similar now, where I think gold goes higher, then you probably get a recession in end of 24 to 25. Once again, the timing, predicting the timing is very hard because you need to look at more things, more tools, more data to really make that context. But whenever it comes, it probably means that gold at that point is higher. It probably does pull back to reach its all-time high, or maybe even some higher level at that point, and just continues its bull market, while equities will be in stagflation for this period. And we do see that each time there is a sideways for equities, we see there is a bull market for commodities. And then whenever that bull market ends for commodities, and that period, by the way, is accompanied by high interest rates. So high interest rates do favor commodities. They do not favor equities and real estate. And that's what I've been saying. I've been saying that, and each market has its own unique metrics. And I do think, once again, that there is more upside, but I'm not like bullish. I don't think that being bullish on for the next longer term period on equities is the right move. I just think there is more upside, but it doesn't mean I'm playing equities long. I think the equities long will come around, end of the decade, somewhere around there. And that's, in my opinion, the place where you want to jump in. That doesn't mean it will be the exact low, because the exact low can come like during 2026, maybe 27, maybe 25. I do not know. It probably means, it can legit be like something like this, and then right here is the place to go, and then it starts to go way higher. But I once again think that, and it's pretty clear, if you look at the charts, like look at this gold chart, man, and there is just nothing. There is legit nothing bearish about gold and commodities. Just nothing. The market structure is so clean. You have central bankers, the largest financial entities in the world, accumulating. You have all these wars starting to appear in the world. You have high interest rate. Like everything is fitting together. So it's still one of my safest place to be. And as they say, there's always bull market somewhere out there at some asset. So I think this is the one.
What are some other commodities? Like, what are some of the energy plays doing right now? Because I know we were talking about some of those last or a few weeks ago. I haven't really taken too big of a look at things like oil, nat gas.
I think those are also some of those also matter depending on whether are they more industrial commodities, are they seasonal commodities like gas and so on. So all those matters. This is and we also have to take into account hard commodities and soft commodities. So all that matters. I'm mainly talking about the hard ones like gold, silver, can be copper too, although that's more industrial, of course, and like palladium probably. And once again, to me, the best commodity is still BTC. It's pretty clear. I have to stress out this. Sorry?
Wise man once said, there is no second best.
There is no second best, and it's true. At least for now. So, yeah, 23.5 is a huge level for silver. Once that is broken, bears just stand no chance. Just like they stand no chance on gold already. Once we flip this into support now, it's just coming for those new, and it might not even retest. It might not even retest. By the way, it's pretty crazy how much. Sorry, I'm missing the English words, but like there is not enough shares to borrow at the GLD ETF. Too short right now. Like they're running out of shorts to short, because if you want to short, you have to borrow a stock, right? So the way to short gold is that you this is the gold ETF index, GLD, and the way you short it is that you borrow a stock of this trust, and then you short it, which means like you borrow it and then you buy it back at some point later in the future. That means that if you are speculating the price is going to go down, you borrow the stock at 185. If the price dumps, you buy back cheaper, right? And you profited from that move. But if it goes higher, you not only like lost money because it went higher, but you also didn't possibly didn't have any exposure. So there's more to it, but Yeah. I would love to jump more into crypto, by the way, once we.
Yeah, I was just about to ask if we could transition here to looking at some altcoins, some potential setups, whether that be to the long or short side this week. And if you guys, the audience, have any tickers that you want us to take a look at, feel free to shoot those over our way. What do you think, Tucker? You want to take a look at some alts?
Yeah, man, let's do it. Let's do it. Actually, let's just start with this, man. Wait, what's going on? Okay, whoa, really had to zoom out there.
Oh, you're on the 3 minute?
No, I was on the 4 hour. I was on the 4 hour, and I was like, "Where's the chart?" Oh, it's all the way up there because this thing's been down all night.
For those who don't know, Tucker was on like the 10-second chart or something crazy like that 2 weeks ago, right before I left.
I would text Tommy and Max and like freak out that it was dumping and that I was short, and then I would check and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm on the 3 minute chart, man." Yeah, but I don't know. I think this thing could. It's trying to carve out a bottom. You know, it's attempting. You know, yeah. I think you could get a little pop in here. I mean, here's what I think about alts. I think like it's kind of not now or never unless Bitcoin goes higher, but while Bitcoin's doing this, you got to run. These things need to run while Bitcoin does this, right? Because Bitcoin does this, it's not good. Even if it does that, you know, they'll get dragged up, but they're not going to run the way they should when Bitcoin's going sideways. So, you know, Solana's doing it, but Pepe's, you know, was up 30% last week. But, you know, some of the other, especially the centralized exchange altcoins, I mean, they've been. I mean, you know, Link ran pretty hard. So did Matic, but
INJ was a good one.
INJ, man, oh my god! I know. I've been watching that. I can't believe this thing was $1, literally $1 at the beginning of the year. That is, INJ is not that far from all-time highs. Let's just, you know, 45% off the highs. 100% move from here, you're there. So
it does remind me of AVE in 2019-20. You know, AVE was already trading like this prior to BTC or any others. And then when those started to run, AVE was breaking new all-time highs. Then the market pulled back. It pulled back once again, just like gold, to retest that all-time high. And then it continued and had a secular bull market on its own.
Wait, oh, Evan said don't wait too long. Evan, we smacked a Solana long over the weekend, brother. You gotta be up on those things, man. You gotta be up on them. Anyway, yeah, you know, it is what it is. Boom, boom. This is what I was looking for. I was looking for this again. This is the trade that Tommy and I took this summer. Playing, guys. It's playing. I'll tell you what.
We've got some faithful Milady and Remilio in our community.
Oh, ironically. Yeah, we do.
As much as Max will spar with the idea of buying a Milady. We'll get him on board eventually. I think he's still listening. Max, we will have you buy a Milady at some point.
Yeah, we will, man. We absolutely will. Love to see this too, by the way, if you trade there. But
oh, yes, you do. Tomorrow's Stimmy Day for DYDX.
Is it tomorrow? Okay, good.
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
This is actually, I know this isn't an altcoin, but I was looking at playing a little earnings play on DraftKings, man. They have to just be printing money. They literally have to.
I mean, it's probably the same setup as Bitcoin, right? Right there. This trades like Bitcoin, trades with liquidity to a large extent.
What, DraftKings?
Yeah.
I mean, shouldn't they just print every like Q3, Q4 because of football?
I don't know. I mean, I imagine it's baked in to some extent.
Nah.
But that does look like the type of double bottom you would want to see on an earnings play.
Yeah, their earnings are Thursday. Might be something there, fellas. There might be something there. I mean, how much did they make their last earnings?
Tucker, how much did you contribute to DraftKings earnings this quarter?
I definitely contributed to DraftKings earnings.
Yeah. All of my bets on my alumnus have contributed to DraftKings revenue. I've literally 5 months away.
Yeah. It is what it is. Man.
That is what it is, yeah.
Yeah. Can't win them all.
DXY once again rejecting pretty strong, and that's what I kept on saying, guys. If you're gonna have very strong gold, you're simply not going to have a strong dollar. It doesn't work that way. And surely, like, we could have got a new high for DXY and have that very temporary strength and possible like reverse capitulation. But like, you simply don't get a gold moving higher and DXY going higher as well. They are inversely correlated, so you can expect DXY to roll over sooner or later. That's such an easy thing to do. No,
But
it cannot be that way.
But Jack, the whole flag.
Bull flag. Okay. Yeah, I suppose that's what many bears are gonna draw and cream their pants, calling for new highs. Just like they have in September 2022 when I was calling for the absolute top and people were calling for the milkshake theory. And look how that played out. Once again, it simply doesn't work that way. You cannot have bullish gold and bullish DXY. It just doesn't happen. You can have temporary strengths here. I could even see where DXY goes for that, maybe one more time, goes for those highs, but then it's going to roll over.
I mean, just as long as it's doing this up here after this move, it's just pressure, it's just hard on risk to move super. I mean, equity specifically to move super hard while we chill up here. And same thing with the dude. I don't know how we haven't talked about this yet. That you said it, Tommy. This is vertical VIX accumulation, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for markets to get a push to the upside as long as I think, what's putting pressure on liquidity in the market, right? I mean, it's probably the fact that you do have, sorry, I just had a total brain fart. I'm still, I was actually really sick the last few days, guys. Yeah, no, you have a lot of pressure that's being put on the S&P, let me rephrase that by the fact that volatility is elevated, as well as the fact that bonds are showing significant amounts of weakness in the face of liquidity that hasn't increased over the. I haven't looked at liquidity to see whether it's been decreasing over the last few weeks necessarily, but it hasn't been increasing, over the last few months, which has been a huge driver, obviously, and is always a huge driver for markets to go higher. So if you have limited liquidity, something's got to give, right? Either equities have to go lower, or you have to see a bounce in bonds, or you need to see volatility go lower. And the problem for a lot of these, for a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but for a lot of these funds, is that many of these assets are correlated in a way where you can't just get you can't, it's difficult to have the same, you need separate funds and separate flows in order to be able to say short volatility as well as buy the S&P. So it's a bit more complicated. And then you throw in, like I said, the bonds aspect of it. That's putting a significant strain on equity markets. That's why we haven't bounced
yet. Can I share the chart now? I want to jump back more into crypto.
Wait. Isn't this weird though? Isn't this strange? TLT, net liquidity, Bitcoin. It's a strange dynamic.
You have the wrong net liquidity there.
No.
Yes. You need to put in more stuff, and you need to put in like the, what is it called, the reverse repurchase agreements as well inside, and you have seen that it's the
Yeah.
it's the amount of liquidity that's stored within the central bank from the banks. So when this one is going down, that means the liquidity is going back into the market. So when you're calculating the world liquidity, or so, you have to put that one in as well. So I watch all of these, and once again try to get the overall context. You have to legit minus that reverse. Yeah.
SYD. What is it? Plus.
I can send you in private the exact.
I think that's it. But I want a different pane, new pane below. There.
Right?
Yeah. So we've seen it move up, Bitcoin move up, TLT down. Interesting. Yeah. We'll look more at it. I'm going to flip it to yours.
Yeah. So I like watch all of these as well. I have many of these. They measure slightly different things, right? Like this is just the Fed balance sheet and so on. But like this is the one that you this is the one that's been injecting the liquidity inside, and you can see that we've injected around 1.3 T back in it, which is missing if you're just gonna look at the Fed balance sheet, right? So if you, for example, add 1.3 to this one, you're gonna get 8.3. So yeah, I'm watching more of these to get the better idea. But yeah, I really want to jump back to BTC, because I understand that SPX is the wild bear's dream right now, but like the reality is that BTC is once again, doing what I've been saying. It's gonna be trending more and more as a digital commodity, and whether you wanna say this move was due to that or whatever it was due, the reality stays that we have reclaimed this higher time frame range, and that just stays. It's there, and the rest will follow. This is the and I don't know how much time we're gonna spend down here. I'm not one of those. Once again, it's so hard to fucking stay realistic in this market, because if the market is going up and you will start to say like, yes, like for example, right, this is where we are right now in SPX. I'm gonna put it side by side because I understand not everyone can see it. So this is basically what I'm saying for SPX. Let me try to put more. Where we had a sell-off, right? Imagine 2022 sell-off. Then you get the upside, you get that pullback, and then you get a continuation to new all-time highs. That's basically what I'm saying. I'm right here. I'm trying to say we will have more upside, but then expect more downside. And it's just so unrealistic, because if you say that, you're gonna get attacked both from the bulls and bears, because like the fucking retarded bulls will tell you that there is no correction ever happening and we're just going straight to the moon. Bears will just tell you, hey, we are dumping straight down from here because we have high interest rates or something like that. And just do not combine all of this stuff, Like here, we were also retesting pretty strong level, just like we are now. And just keep it simple. That's what I'm saying. look at the chart, look at the data, try to create the context, stay reasonably bullish, stay reasonably bearish. But this weekly reclaim, that's insanely bullish. That's the most bullish thing that happened to BTC since the breakout of 14K. I don't even consider this one to be as bullish as this one, because, and by the way, look how strong the weekly closed. It's not like some wick or anything. It's fucking strong close back inside. No one can ignore this. Nobody. It's bearish hopium. Anything you say here is bearish hopium. You can have, like say we are currently a little bit overbought, sure. We might go a little higher than have the pullback. I agree with that myself. But like higher time frame, this is insanely bullish. This broke all bears hope. And it's there, You lost, guys. This one, this is BTC versus all major world M2 money supplies combined. This is the logarithmic chart. This reclaim puts this whole area into a giant deviation of this whole range. This reclaim, and once again, here I'm not saying we go straight up like many bulls are, and we go straight to 100K and world is ending and BTC is gonna save us all. Those are the unreasonable bulls. I'm saying we have reclaimed this higher time frame range. This is the reaccumulation now. And we're gonna spend some time in here, in my opinion. How? I do not know that. I do not know if we, go slightly higher, then retest here, and we go slowly up. Do we just FOMO higher here? I do not know that yet. I'm trying to go now level by level, but the higher time frame picture is so clear and clean. I do not know if this, by the way, turns out into some if I think of it, this could also happen where we spend here way more time than people can imagine. And this, by the way, could happen now looking at the time frame as well, because this nicely lines up with Q4 2024, when I expect that big recession to come in, and we could have that retrace. And that's what I've been saying. We probably go higher on BTC and then have that pullback during the recession, which retests the 30K. And this nicely lines up with this logarithmic trend too. The range horizontal as well, and this base. So all things considered are lining up here very strongly. But yeah, I cannot tell exactly how long, how high we go here. I do not expect straight move up. I think that's unreasonable given the market structure here and how much more room there is, though.
If Bitcoin is going to range in between 30 to 60K for any prolonged period of time, altcoins will benefit significantly if that happens.
Yeah. And then exactly, Tommy. And then there will be those periods where like BTC goes higher in that time, then BTC stops, alts will follow. I think that's happening now. I'll jump into that. I first wanted to show this reclaim on charts like BTC versus gold as well, or BTC versus silver, BTC versus SPX. All of these are showing me the same macro landscape, and these will differ slightly. Like here, I think we enter this sort of ascending triangle, and then we continue higher, so we don't go as high on BTC versus SPX chart. Here, by the way, I was saying down here, I pulled up this BTC versus NVIDIA chart, saying this is a good time for the rotation back to BTC. And I'm keeping this chart. I want to know how this reacts when BTC gets back here. And maybe that's the play. Maybe this is the only play you always gotta do. just rotate between BTC and Nvidia. And it also makes sense from the fundamental point. It's not just a random chart that worked. It's because all those Nvidia chips are being used for those mining rigs, right? So it makes sense that these two correlate a lot. So
speaking of outperforming, I would love to take a look at the best performing crypto asset over the last 3 months, actually. If you guys know what I'm talking about, TRB, the DWF coin, I'd love to take a look at that chart. I just saw their founder tweet it out again. He tweeted it out a few weeks ago too, but he said there's going to be like a rocket ship or something, or like something basically saying they're going to send the coin again in the near term.
Wow. Yeah, TRB.
Insane chart, man.
It's crazy. Wow. That's basically like 1,200%, we could say, just insane. Yeah, I mean, we've seen this with the coins like Loom. Now it's so overbought. Like, I wouldn't dare to short it right here, but I've seen this time and time again. It always ends up like this. It goes insanely high, and then there is the rug pull. It can go like this for a little longer.
It just literally, I keep thinking it's gonna rug pull, and it just has not.
Yeah, that's a good point, because that's always how the markets work, right? It's gonna rug pull, but the market makers will first make you jump in. You will think like this entire time you think it's gonna rug pull, and people are not jumping in, and then I don't know how, but somehow everyone starts to jump back in at the highs because they think like, okay, I was wrong and it's going forever high, and then whoop, it's over. And
can you replicate that noise again for my ringtone? I have to clip that.
Whoop.
What do we call that pattern, boys?
The rug pull. It's always like that in crypto. They always make it range, then they pick one of these coins that nobody's interested in. They make some bullshit announcement, send it higher. There are no retraces. I mean, this at least had some retraces, right? But sometimes it's just straight line up, and then KO. That said, I do not know much fundamentals about TRB, so I wouldn't want to. But like, regardless of fundamentals, whenever you get something pumping this hard, it comes back in a similar fashion usually. So yeah, we're skeptical towards this PA. Would not surprise me. Legit would not surprise me if very soon. And usually you don't even get precise levels, right? Like, you won't probably get a precise touch of new all-time highs or this level. What you usually get is also that you get a front run here, or you get a front run of the new all-time highs, and then it rug pulls. So if you are in, guys, that's the recommendation I can give you. I wouldn't tell you to short this one, because it can definitely go even higher here. But like, if you are in, start scaling out at absolutely no logical levels. Do not try to scale out and give these precise levels, because those are front run. You will get front run. Then there's going to be the rug pull, and you're going to hate yourself for that. The best thing is legit just start scaling out. And I think this is definitely a good place to do, after this move above this high. This is where they distribute. And then, if this is the possible top and you get the rug pull, start selling very quickly. The moment you lose the structure, start selling quickly. This one would break the structure here below this low. This should be your invalidation, by the way, because for example here, right, you get below the low, but the thing is it was still within this impulsive leg higher, right? So once again, the best recommendation I can give with TRB is really look to scale out.
Another coin that I think is about to have that next impulsive leg higher is the like button, guys. It's the like button. We've got 50 people in here. We've only got 28 likes, so I do know that some of you guys have not hit the like button yet. I want to hit a goal of about 40 today if we can get it. Seriously, I think we've yet to have our big impulse on that on the like button yet. But sorry for interrupting you, Jack.
No worries. I think this was a great example as well. This is exactly just lower time frames, but same principle. The price keeps pumping higher, and I remember I was making a purchase here on Matic in 2019. It was right here, and then I was selling right here, right on this move. It was very early. I could have ride it a little bit higher, and I felt like an idiot for many days. And by the way, here I got like I got like 80% here, and that was during the most depressing alt times, so it felt really good. But then it kept on moving higher, and I know that if I kept on holding this whole time, I would at least wait for a new all-time high, and it did front run it, and then there was the rug pull. They've opened the leveraged market for Matic back then.
Good old Sandeep, man.
Yeah.
Good old Sandeep. Love trading his coin.
And basically I would give back all the profits, so really scale out. This is TRB chart right before the rug pull, most likely. Yes, there is good chance that maybe this one is like solving cancer or something and it goes up forever, but the chances are really low. And I bet the same thing people were asking about Loom, and then it did the same. So really start scaling out. Move your profit. Move your stop loss into profit, and really look to secure that, because the worst thing that can happen is that you give it back to the market. You're gonna hate yourself there.
Some would say tuition. Giving the market some tuition.
So the real question of the day is, are we selling everything and looking for 2% lower, or are we taking positions?
What market? TRB?
TRB has no dips, Will. TRB is apparently the hardest asset on earth.
I brought that up because I always love hearing people say, well, I'm going to sell here and buy lower. And it's like, what's lower? What does that mean?
You know what I love, Will? You know what I love? I love people saying, I'm going to buy here and sell higher. It's rich. It's a rich
better than saying I'm going to sell here than buy lower.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not. Not even
Yes,
close.
it is.
How often is the market in a downtrend, uptrend? It's not 50-50. It's not 50-50.
It's not 50-50.
The market is significantly more uptrend than it is downtrend.
Well, I would argue crypto bull market is only like
time.
a year out of the 4-year cycle.
Even Bitcoin is up significantly.
Oh no, guys.
All right. More uptrend than downtrend.
We're dumping.
Oh, I guess it's over. What is that? 3 seconds? 4 seconds? Which chart
3
is it?
minute.
3 minutes.
Let me zoom out for you. There you go.
Oof.
I would like to see. I would like to see for. Sorry for cutting you off. Well, I was going to say for alts to really pop off, I'd like to see BNB put some distance between itself and 220.
Yeah.
Guys, look, I want the audience to know too. We're not coming on here moonboying. Like, you don't see us zooming out on the yearly and pointing an arrow up to 150K Bitcoin. All right, we give you level by level. Like, I feel like people are like, oh, these guys are always bullish. It's like, we're only looking for the next level. That's it. We're not even calling for like some obnoxious number like most people are, right? We're just trying to keep price at a very grounded level and be like, hey, we think it goes higher from here. And we give you the next level. That's it. Like, I think a lot of people come in like, man, these guys are just too bullish. People would think the same thing if we were bearish, right? But you have to understand the context of like going level by level and just saying straight nuke or straight, moon. Like, those people are the people, in my opinion, like, they're okay to watch. They're fun and entertaining, but they're just entertainment. There's no reality to their substance of what they're actually calling for. Reality is level by level.
Also, well, what you are saying, gonna expand on that, is that I suppose people love to take the opposite side nowadays with anything you say. So, for example, if you're gonna say that the Earth is round, people will start saying it's flat, just to make that counter argument and start an argument.
Pancake.
I feel like that's how people are nowadays, especially in our Western world. It's legit. It doesn't really matter much what you say. They just want to take the opposite side. Don't you feel like that, guys?
Oh yeah, there's certain people on, even on Twitter, that want to counter trade you so badly, and like they'll get one win on the counter trade, and you'll be like, oh, I messed up here, and they'll be like, see, I told you, look, this guy's a really bad trader. I counter traded him. I won this one, but how many did you lose on the counter trades? How many did you lose? Probably most of them, right? Probably most of them.
Have you guys heard of that one trader whose strategy was literally he just picked like one trader or a set of traders over a period of time, and he did nothing but fade their calls, and he had no opinion on the market, but he did nothing but fade, and it didn't even matter who the group of traders were, but he was betting on the probability that, what is it, 93% of traders are unprofitable. So, he will have a higher likelihood of having more profitable trades through that method. I've always thought that's such a funny story. I think Tom Dante, if you guys know who that is, he tweeted about it one time. I always just find that story so funny.
Me too, and I think it does work. It doesn't work in my opinion, it doesn't work on the higher time frame direction, but I think it does work especially on the lower time frame setups, and especially if you share it. Because the moment you start sharing things publicly, it really is different. I've seen traders having 70% win rate, and then they start their own group, and they start sharing for people, and their win rate drops to 20% or lower. And it's not that they're bad traders. It's just it's different mentality. Then all that pressure starts to get upon you. Once you get that first losing streak, and you will, all these people will start coming at you, and so on. It's really hard to deal with that. I think there could be even some possible market makers in your group. I think with some very large groups, it's probably there, or at least there are bots that front run those orders or market buy when a setup is given. I think I don't want to call any group, but I think that some groups had problems with this as well. So what you say, Tommy, and it was Tom Dante, that it does make sense to front run public and especially lower time frame calls. I don't think it's worth to front run higher time frame directions without clear levels. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I would agree. I would never take a trade personally without having a predefined system. I just thought it was funny how he boiled down trading to being as simple as a huge percentage of people who do it are unprofitable. So if I do nothing but fade them, probabilistically speaking, maybe I can be profitable. And he was. I think it's just such a funny story. But I don't think sentiment fades because at the end of the day, sentiment trading is always, I feel, more a projection of our own personal biases. We can never accurately gauge exactly what Twitter is thinking as a collective when we've literally curated our feed to be what we want it to be.
There you go. You hit the nail on the head right there, Tommy. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. If you're a bear, you're going to see mostly bearish stuff. If you're a bull, you're going to see mostly bullish stuff. And if you're in between, you're going to see a little bit of both. And I highly doubt most people are in between, right? And then on top of that, with traders, like it goes down to exactly what you said. You wouldn't come into a trade without some kind of strategy, right? I think 95% of traders do not have a strategy. They just go with different things, different indicators every other week, randomly throw out random stuff. They look at the chart and maybe they have a strategy, but they're just not able to identify it, right? It's what I see all the time with traders that could be good is they lack strategy. They don't have a strategy coming into the market. They don't know how to approach it with a structured entry, exit, and execution, as well as cuts, right? They don't know how to cut their positions if they need to. And because they don't know these things, they have a hard time actually being a profitable trader. And a lot of traders too, they think that they need a 70% success rate when all they really need is a higher dollar percentage of win rate versus actual, win to loss ratios. And that's what a lot of people get. They get so mixed up in these markets thinking that certain things matter that don't. They think that your win to loss percentage is a grade, like on a test, right? When in reality, you could have lost 80% of your trades, 120, and still been profitable by significant margins because you knew how to cut your positions when you needed to.
Wrong, small, right, big. That's the saying. But I think this is a good spot, guys. I want to shout out everybody once again on the panel for being here. Shout out to the audience for sticking around. We ran for about an hour and a half here. Happy Monday, guys. I'm very happy to be back. I'm bummed that I did get a little bit sick, so I didn't get to see the team over the weekend. But they all did a fantastic job while I was gone on vacation the 2 weeks before that. So yeah, no, I like I said, I think this is a good place to wrap things up. We'll be back, of course, tomorrow for another episode of Market Check. Like I said, there is no second best daily crypto stream. Of course, we'll have spaces throughout the week hosted by the legendary King Wabi. But thanks again, guys, and have a great rest of your Monday.
Hold on, Tommy. Before we wrap up, how do those lights look?
Oh, the lights in Singapore?
The likes on that channel.
Oh.
The likes.
I misheard you. What likes did we get to, actually? Let me check. We better have gotten to 40 or I'm gonna be upset, guys. We got to 33. Oh. Come on, guys. I'd love if you guys would like on your way out. If not, it's all good. We'll definitely get to 40 tomorrow. I'm sure of it. But yeah, also real quick, let me plug our premium content. Like I said, I mean, these guys have been killing the market. So if you want a bit more of an in-depth look at how they're viewing it on a day-to-day basis, as well as their positioning, you can get that in the Discord, which is linked in the link tree of our Twitter, as well as the description of this YouTube video. But that's all from us, guys. Happy Monday. Let's get after it this week. And yeah, have a great rest of your day.
See you.